And I also wonder, how long will it even remain in the news? Is it even in the news 2 days later? A man drives a van, or was it a van? Was it an SUV? Was it a car? I think it was a van, a white van, into human beings who were just walking along, and happened to be at that moment in a place where they would either be horribly injured or murdered. We don't know why he did it. I don't know if it's because they don't know, or they don't want to tell us, or they want to delay. I don't know. I simply don't know. But it is one of the rare times where the information with regard to the murderer, the mass murderer, is so skimpy. Isn't it a little odd? Is it because it's Canada, where there's even a greater movement toward the press controls? I don't know where the press controls itself. I'm not saying the government controls it. All right, everybody. Welcome to the show. And I'm going to read to you. I never read a poem on the air, I don't think, but a man I met with yesterday, he's 89 years old. Is he older than 89? I think he's 89. And he gave me something he had written. I guess I could say who, James Edward Holden. And I thought it was nice because it rhymes and it tells a lot in a simple way. It's brief. From whence we came and where we go, we mortals here will never know, till we take that step beyond the pale to seek the light and lift the veil. What is the point of all this, if not to gain eternal bliss? In a hoped-for place where we all shall meet, pray I'll be there for you to greet. If there's but a black abyss, an afterlife of nothingness, and there is no grander scheme, then all this life is just a dream. Should that prove to be the case, the joke is on the human race. I thought it was well done. It beats, remember the poetry I read to you that won a Nobel Prize in poetry? It was one of the funniest hours of my broadcast life, when I took some of the Nobel Prize winners' poetry, and during a commercial break, I wrote nonsense poetry. I can't write poetry to save my life. I thought I'd share that with you. We are in a very deep crisis in the United States. The left is trying to undo an election. Are you aware of that? I mean, has that registered? Even if you don't like Donald Trump, are you aware of that fact? Well, two writers are. I began yesterday just briefly telling you about William McGurn, columnist in the Wall Street Journal, about how there is so much damaging to the American body politic by the anti-Trump left in this country. They keep screaming he is a threat to democracy. It's all nonsense. You can't point to a thing that makes him a threat to democracy. The threat to democracy in the United States, like everywhere, is the left. More and more people are saying this. Not enough. Conservatives, most conservative intellectuals do not understand the threat of the left. That is a terrible indictment that I have of my fellow people who I respect, whom I read, whom I use on Prager University videos. Some of them are just wonderful and have important things to say and are very bright and all of the good things. But if there is a condemnation, or an accusation, that's a better word, not condemnation, an accusation that I have against my fellow conservatives, not all, obviously, especially the elite, the people who write the columns, the people who go on television and radio and offer their thoughts, is that they do not appreciate the threat of the left. I have theories as to why, but they're not worthy of broadcasting right now, because what matters is whether or not what I said is true. But there is a slight movement in the direction of we have a true threat to democracy from the left, from the Democratic Party. So here's William McGurn giving a number of examples. In the 2016 election, the New York Times ran a front-page article in which it advertised that the particular dangers posed by Mr. Trump's candidacy mean that the long-held norm of journalism, objectivity, might have to give way to a more oppositional approach. Yep, that was one of the editors of the New York Times. Now our task is to oppose him, not report truth. They admitted it. They've never reported truth much, not when their ideology was involved. When there's no ideology involved, how many people died in an earthquake in Peru? They're very good. Good liberals once found the idea of spying on American citizens without just cause unconscionable. But when the target is a former French campaign associate, people are awakening to what the left is doing. I'm Dennis Prager. We continue. 1-8-PRAGER 776.